Hello everybody, my name is Sniping is Fun, and I'm going to bring you yet another Super Smash Bros. Topic. Today I'm going to be giving my opinion on a certain idea that kind of lately has been spreading around the Smash Bros. Community. Giving my opinion, my answer to this question. Are there too many sword users currently in Super Smash Bros. 4? Do we have enough? Do we need more? Is there too many? Are we getting too many and we shouldn't get any more type of thing? Like one thing I've come to real and I think a lot of people actually have come to see from the Smash Bros. Community is a lot of people are actually kind of, in quotations here, complaining the fact that Smash Bros. 4 is looking like we have too many sword users. Um, Currently, at this time, we basically have Link, Toon Link, Ike, Marth, Lucina. Robin is a semi-sword user. We have Meta Knight. We have Pit, which is kind of a sword user. And I don't know if I'm missing anyone. We have the Mii Swordsman. And I think that's about it. And I'm sure I'm missing someone. But we have about, what, like 9 so far? And people are like, well, that's like that's like 1/3 of the roster we currently have now. There's too many. We don't need any more flippin' sword users. Let's get more original styles in here. And my response to that is like, really? Like, this is my answer to the question is, are there too many sword users? No, no, there's not. Because currently at this time, we only have like about 9 sword users currently in Smash Brothers 4, and that's out of the 30 some odd characters we currently have, 38, 9, whatever characters we currently have, like, you know, shown off, revealed for Super Smash Bros. 4. That's like 1/3 the roster, but the roster is more likely going to be 40 something, maybe even 50, and at that point, like, you'd say it's only like 1/4 the roster. That's not really majority of the roster. That's not really a whole lot. When you take into account that majority of the characters that we have on this Smash Bros. 4 roster use their hands and they use their feet. Now, are you seeing people going around saying, oh, there's too many hand and feet users? No, no, you're not. You don't see people complain about that style. You don't see people complain about all this. But yet, oh, let's target the sword users. The sword users are the bane of the existence in Smash Bros. We don't need any flipping more. Stop asking for more sword users. We don't need them. They're all gonna fight the same. No, they're not gonna fight the same. Is like Mario fighting the same as, say, Little Mac? No. Are we seeing like Kirby fighting the same as Jigglypuff or Pikachu? No. Are we seeing Zelda fighting the same as Zero Suit Samus? No, because they have their own unique different styles. They use their hands and their feet, but they have extra little things, stuff that goes with it. Because they use their hands and their feet differently, and they have their extra little things. People, sword users can fight differently, and we're already seeing that. Link has his items from the game, his little, oh, he can use his boomerang and his bow and everything, and his fighting style is sword alongside that. Marth is strictly a sword user. Robin uses magic on top of that. Pit can put his blades together to make a bow. And he has all his other little gadgets he uses from like Kid Icarus Uprising. Meta Knight has like his powers that he basically has. Like Ike is more of a powerhouse sword user. Lucina, I can understand where people are coming from, but she was originally supposed to be an alternate costume to Marth, so I'm not complaining too much in that regard. And then Toon Link is basically kind of like Link too, with his gadgets and his own unique stuff. But people are basically thinking that sword users are automatically going to fight like each other, and sword users is an overdone style. It's not as overdone as hand and feet users, people. And you don't see people complain about that when about 2/3 the roster we currently have now use their hands and feet in some way, shape, or form, even if they do have like long range attacks. Charizard does fire, but you see him kicking and punching with his claws, like claw shots. That's his hands and his feet, people. You know, every character has melee based attacks, and they all use their hands and their feet, so we're not really, but you don't really see people complaining about them. Like, sword users? Are there too many sword users? No, we could have more, and they could have various unique styles. And what you're currently looking at with the picture is many various unique sword users that are already in the game or could potentially be in the game. And they're not strictly sword users. I could even go over a few ideas for sword users that would be different, would be unique, are possible choices to include in the game, are popular in some way, shape, or form, are kind of requested and or demanded, and so on and so forth. Let's look at my this picture. Okay, let's start from the way left and go right. I have Issa Joe from the Sin and Punishment series. He was the main character in Sin and Punishment Star Successor, and I'll even include Kachi in here, who's the other character in the game that you could play as. They don't have normal swords. You know what they have? They have gun swords. They have weapons that are like blades, kind of like Pit's weapon, that kind of can be used to shoot as a gun, but swing around as like a sword. That has not been in Smash Brothers yet. That's a unique style. Let's look at, okay, we have Matthew and we have Isaac from Golden Sun. They have their psi energy powers. They can summon the Jinn. They have medieval swords and that's part of their moveset. But then think about it. They would kind of be different because they have their Jinn. They can summon Jinn. They can use their Earth psi energy powers. They won't be strictly sword users like most of our sword users. We have Zale from the last story, which uses all his magic and RPG based attacks. We have Aaron from the Pandora's Tower, who is not even strictly a sword user. He can use a scythe, he can use a spear, he has a chain. Like, even though we have Girahim, who's not in this picture, by the way, who can use a sword, but he can't use a sword. He can use his hands and his feet, and he could also use his sword. His dark magic, he could use long-range magic attacks. That's not really all that similar to like a Marth or an Ike or a Link. Um, Even though they're assist trophies right now, I'm going to take a look at three sword users that would have been different. Takamaru, Prince Sable, and Samurai Goro. Samurai Goro is like this big, hefty sword user that's basically like a samurai. He would use his bounty hunter, like his, well, he's not a bounty hunter, like his various techniques, like he's like, he, like, is it,